Hello everybody and a very good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for joining us on what is a bit of a wet and windy Thursday evening here in the northeast of the UK. It's a bit miserable if I'm being honest with you. But listen, we are here over the course of the next hour, just an hour, to cheer you up with one of our amazing masterclasses that we've been bringing you as far as the 12 days of Craftmas is concerned. So an hour masterclass right now, and then for the second hour you'll be seeing back one of the hours that we brought to you earlier on the cartload. And if you're just joining thinking, hang on a minute, isn't it cartload now? Oh, you haven't been watching today, have you? We told you. Middle show was cartload today because Sarah's little boy, Oliver, it's his 10th birthday today, so she had to go home for the party, so we had cartload in the middle. But the good news is, as I said, we are going to bring you one of those hours for you after this hour of masterclass, so you can pick up on whatever the deals are left, because it was a very, very busy show. As well as this being an amazing masterclass, we'll find out what it's all about in just a second with our lovely craft expert. We are, of course, spinning the wheel. We've already spun it today. If you didn't see it this morning, again, you weren't here, were you, for Wake Up Call? We span it. 2 free gifts today. Yes, what a spin that was. What a spin. So if you shop with us up until midnight tonight, you can get, if you spend a tenner, this die set, your rooftops of light. That's £10, and that's worth about 20 quid, I think. You don't have to spend a tenner to get it. And then if you spend £50 or dollars, we'll give you this and the brilliant pull bows festive edition. There are 15 bows in there. Those will automatically get added to your cart, so you can thank me in the comments as we go through the show. Now, as I mentioned, not just me over the course of this little hour extravaganza. I'm delighted to say I am joined by the marvellous, the wonderful Lilly Fletcher. How are you, and what are you masterclassing us on today?
I'm very well. I'm much better than the weather, but let's be honest, that's not hard, because honestly, we can hear it is absolutely
awful.
Bucketing it down. It's raining cats and dogs, as we say here in the UK. But apart from that, I'm very well. I'm super excited for this masterclass. I love a masterclass. I love to be able to take you through the stages, sort of step by step, of learning a new technique. And this is one that we get a lot of questions actually about from you guys at home. It's all about flower forming. And I know quite often when we feature flower forming, we tend to go for the foam flowers. Tend to be the flowers that we make. But in this show, we're going to mix it up a little bit. So we are going to pack in couple of demos hopefully across the hour. One demonstration, our first demo, is actually going to be focusing on not foam at all, but using some of your lovely linen cardstock to create your own flowers. And then for the second demonstration, we will have a little look at that flower forming foam. So lots of inspiration hopefully throughout the course of this hour. Some fab bargains too, so I hope you can stay tuned and join us for this full hour masterclass. Looking forward to it, that is for certain.
And if you've got any questions, fire them in, but do it nice and early. Any questions you've got when it comes to flower forming, ask early doors, because we did a masterclass the other day with Michelle, and loads of people waited till like the last 10 minutes, and then we couldn't get the questions in because it was too late. So if you've got a question, get it in early, and we will try and tackle as many as we can over the course of the hour. We've got fabulous superstar Susie on the socials. First in is Ben McCarthy, saying good evening, hi. Laurie Barnett says, hello everyone from a warm and sunny day in Gilbert, Arizona.
Send us over, Laurie. We'll join you.
Yeah, we wish we were in Gilbert today. I tell you what, it's horrible out there. Stephen Nicole says, good evening, everyone, from a wet Andover. I'm just waiting to receive my 3 parcels from Yodel. Ooh. What you getting? What's in your parcels? Let us know. Rosalind joins us from Maryland. Hi, Phil Watson. He says, good evening. And Zoe Carver says, evening all. It's wet and windy in the south of the UK too. Yeah, it was nice last week up until sort of end of Sunday. We had the snow here. Although you don't look like you're not a fan of snow, are you?
I hate snow. Oh, it drives me mad. I just think it's really disruptive. Like, oh, not a fan. It looks so pretty. You stay inside, you look out, lovely white scene. I mean, it's quite deep up here, but no, not for me.
I was like a oh no, I won't say that. Yeah. I will. I was like a pig in the proverbial, I was. Because being a southerner, I very rarely see snow. So the fact that we had so much on Sunday, we were building snowmen, throwing snowballs, sledging and all sorts.
I mean, I'd rather snow than ice, because last night, I didn't realise it was going to be quite so cold, so icy. I went out for a run and it was like Bambi on ice. I was there thinking, this isn't so much of a good idea, but at least snow, if you fall, it's soft, it's fine.
Did you have your trail running shoes on?
I did. On Sunday, out in that snow, it was so deep, it was coming above my shoes at some point. I was like, good grief, I could lose my shoe in this. Luckily I didn't, live to tell the tale, but there you go, yeah. Deep snow on Sunday.
I did a park run on Saturday and nearly went head over heels, and so I've since put on my Christmas list a pair of trail shoes, because I think that's probably sensible.
Good tip, yeah. Good grip on the ice and the snow.
Yeah.
Top tip from Lilly, it's not just crafting tips here on Crafters TV. Oh,
yeah.
no.
All sorts of tips. Ask any questions you like, really, tonight. We're up for it.
Yeah.
But mainly on flower forming. This little selection that has been popped together for you contains, I think, some of the best dyes when it comes to your flower forming, whatever you're using, whether you're using papers, whether you're using your flower forming foam. Quickly rattle through these in. So this is an £81, over $100 bundle that you're picking up for just £36 or $44. So it's a 45% saving that you're going to be getting. We're giving you the ivy here, which I think is quite nice. Don't often see that, actually. So that one's within the bundle. And I will just say off the top here, we don't have huge stocks. In fact, it has been busy today. Less than 50 of these bundles remaining already. And it is this pesky old pine cone here that is going to sell out the bundle. But that's quite nice, that one, actually, isn't it? That you've got the dyes to be able to create your pine cone and then your sort of Christmas rose or any other style of rose really that you want to create with that, but very seasonal. Then within the set you are going to get this, which is your beautiful perfect peony. Again, all of the different size dyes and your leaves in there as well to give that beautiful effect. By the way, if you want stamens, we do have lots of different stamens available for you on the show. Just shop the show to pick all of those deals up. Regal Rose, this one's quite nice as well, actually, for the fact that you've got the stencil with this, so you can go even bigger with your makes, which is really nice. There's some really big, bold makes within that collection. I don't have boards for all of these, but we're going to give you your set, which is your clover. You're then also going to get the Hyde Ranger Garden. There's another 10 dyes within that set. You're also going to get another peony within this collection, which is the Precious Peony. This one comes with your little quilling die. So if you want to use your stamens out of the packets, you can, but you've actually in effect got your beautiful stamens made for you with the quilling die within this set. And then last but by no means least, I think it's really nice that we've popped this little exquisite lace frame on there for you as well. That is going to sit very, very beautifully indeed with any of the florals that you decide to make from this collection. That one's from the Vintage Rose collection. As I said, we have less than 50 of these to go round, so first come, first serve, definitely. And check the shop, the show, for all of the sort of added extras that we've got as far as tools are concerned. We've got the ball tools and the distressing tool. We've got stamens for you as well. And we've even got the mini with 10% off, because I know as we get into this, Lily, when you guys are kind of making your flowers, the mini kind of comes into its own a little bit, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I use my mini machine the most when it comes to all my flower forming, my die cutting all my flower and leaf layers. This is an absolute godsend. Maybe you craft on an evening in front of the telly with a lap tray. This is so super portable. You can bring it through into the living room. Maybe you're going to be sitting around with the family on a Christmas evening. This is going to be absolutely ideal for cutting out all of those flower layers. So this is what I'm going to be using throughout this show. So what we're going to start off with is, like I say, we're going to show you different mediums that you can be using when you are doing your flower forming. I know very often we talk about the flower forming foam. You will find the details of all those different colourways that we've got over on the website. But let's start off with some cardstock. So what we're working with here is some linen textured cardstock, and I find personally when you are creating your paper flowers, linen textured card works an absolute treat. This is our Summer Meadow pack that I'm using here. If you check out the website, we do have some of our other linen cardstock over on the shop the day. We've got our Mediterranean Dreams as well, I think, on the website.
Yeah.
So we've got some beautiful colourways in that one and the fuchsia as well. Check out the shop the day for both of those. But we're going in with the Summer Meadow, just because I love this purple. I thought, let's go Crafters Purple for these lovely little flowers. Die set we're using for this particular one is the Precious Peonies from the Bell Countryside collection. The amount of dyes you're getting in here, you're getting an awful lot. Not just your different sizes of your larger flowers, you're getting your small little ones that could be filler flowers or even centres, and then you've got that quilling strip that can go in the middle if you so choose. We're not going to use it for this particular type of flower that we're creating, but of course if you want that more realistic peony sort of effect, then absolutely go ahead and use that fabulous stamen. But you don't just have to use that in the centre of your flowers. What you can also be doing with that stamen is you can be using it to create almost like mini little buds, if you like, little filler flowers that can go amongst your bouquets, just to pack them out a little bit more and give them a bit of extra interest. So lots of options when it comes to that particular die. You can see with one pass through that fabulous little mini machine, super quick and easy, you've got a couple of those flowers die cut. And I love the fact that you've got that little almost like a ruched edge, if you like, onto all of those petals. I think it gives it an extra little bit of interest and just makes it look a little bit more realistic as well, which I think is fabulous. So what we're going to do here is going to create a couple of different flowers. So I've got a few layers cut. We're using the smallest and then we're using the next size up to create 2 different flowers. Now there's lots of options when it comes to shaping your flowers, lots of different tools that you can use. You will find those on the shop today. We've got our ball tools, we've got our foam shaping mat, we've got our finger toboggan, our finger clog and all the rest of it.
Yes.
But for me, you'll see me use these a little bit later when it comes to foam. When it comes to actually shaping my paper flowers, I tend to just use a pokey tool.
Okay.
And all I do is I use it basically using the cylindrical barrel, so it could be any sort of cylindrical object. It could be a thin pencil or pen or anything like that, but I find with the pokey tool being nice and thin, you can get into the detail of all those smaller petals. And all I'm going to do is I'm just literally gently starting to mould those petals, and what you're doing at this stage is you're actually just breaking down the fibres in your cardstock. So this is starting to almost like train the card into the shape that you want it to be. And it doesn't matter how you shape these. You don't have to make them like a realistic peony if you don't want to.
No.
It can be a fantasy flower, whatever you want, but just by changing up the way that you shape those petals. So here I'm rolling upwards. If I was to roll it backwards and downwards, you get a completely different effect. So it can look like a totally different flower every single time that you create these.
Paper your preferred material to make flowers with?
Oh, it's funny because I had a lovely customer actually message me just before the show saying she's looking forward to the show because she's done a few paper flowers in the past but never tried foam. And I said, do you know what, that's really interesting because I started off with paper flowers.
Yeah.
I've loved making paper flowers for many, many years. But it wasn't until maybe about 4 years ago that I started trying foam. I wasn't quite sure about it. I think for me, one of the reasons that I was a little bit apprehensive was I wasn't quite sure what glues I could use with it, how I was going to shape it. But as soon as I started to actually try the flower forming foam, because it has been designed specifically to use with your forming, to use with your heat, to shape it, it is honestly so easy. With a few hints and tips and a little bit of experimentation, it is a super easy medium to get working with. But you know what I'm like, I don't like making decisions when it comes to what's my favourite. I always say it's whatever I've just used is my favourite. So after this demo, it's paper. But after we've done the next demonstration, my favourite will be foam.
Yes.
But it's one of those where if you've mastered one, so if you're confident with doing your paper flowers already, then it's just transferring those skills. It's the same sort of techniques, the same sort of knowledge that you've already got, just applying it to a different medium. So if you're already making your paper flowers, then you will be away when it comes to foam, or vice versa as well. So nice and easy to start to form that. I think we're going to pop another of the larger layers on the bottom just to fill it out a bit more. And depending on how many layers you go for, it's going to depend on how sort of full and voluptuous, if you like, that, I know, fancy word,
That is
Nicola.
a good word.
Get me for this time
Luxurious.
of an evening. Whew. But depending on how many layers you've got, and that will depend how full that flower's going to be. If you're going for fewer layers, it could look more like a bud. So you've got lots of options in terms of how you start to layer these up. So that is our first flower, nice and easy. We're going to leave that to dry for just a moment. And with this being card or paper, I'm using my tacky glue to stick these together, and it's going to be absolutely ideal to hold these. Of course, you do have that little bit of manoeuvrability. You've got those few minutes just to sort of slide it into position so that you're happy with the way it's lined up. And then once it's dried, you know it's going to be set nice and firm. So for me, definitely, I would be using my tacky glue. Now, of course, you can be using stamens. I think quite often we talk about stamens when it comes to our foam flowers, and sometimes I think maybe we forget that we can use them with our paper flowers as well. What I'd just say is make sure that glue is dried, so give your tacky glue plenty of time to dry and set. Once it's dry, you should be absolutely fine to just poke a hole through the middle as you would with your foam flowers. It can sometimes be a little bit more tougher. You can have that little bit of resistance just because you've got that layer of glue in the middle. But as
what glue are you using here?
Well, tacky glue.
Oh, just tacky?
Tacky, or as always, Collal tacky glue. It's a fantastic glue. Oh, I'm hearing it's on the show as well, which is on the fabulous. Show. But yeah, that's the one I always use when I am creating my paper flowers. So if you are going with the stamens, just give that a few moments to dry, and then you can poke your hole through the centre, and that will be all good to go. Now that's our couple of flowers ready to go. I'm going to leave those for a few minutes just to dry because I want to add a little bit of colour, but I want that to be totally dry before I actually add the colour. And that's another thing. So often we get asked, what sort of order do you do things in? So do you colour your petals straight away, even before you die cut? Do you die cut and then colour, or do you shape and colour afterwards? Well, it's completely up to you, given what sort of effect you want to create. With our foam flowers a little bit later, we'll do it sort of the other way around, where we will actually colour before we construct them. But with this particular demo, we're going to actually construct first and then add a little bit of colour afterwards. So while those two are just drying, let's start to build up our card. Now what I'm using here is some of our lovely pattern papers. I've got 12 by 12 pads.
One of the My Specials, is it?
Sorry?
One of the My Special paper pads?
No, this one isn't actually. This is the Summer Meadow. I don't know if we've still got this over on the website. And I've laid it onto the Summer Meadow linen card, so we know that everything's going to match perfectly. And this card has become my absolute go-to at the moment. It's our A4 white linen card.
Oh, yes.
Bumper pack, 100 sheets, and this, oh my goodness, I can't stop using the stuff. This has become my go-to, even over multi-purpose card at the moment.
Is it?
I know, yeah.
Shock, horror news.
I know, good grief, I know. But I just love the linen texture. There's something so expensive looking about having that slight weave. And as well, because obviously our flowers are created using our linen card as well, it just starts to get everything to tie together perfectly. So next up we have some fantastic nesting dies on the show. You know what I'm like for a nesting die? I absolutely adore any sort of nesting die. We're going in with the Regency swirls for this one. And what we've done is we've taken that largest die cut that from that beautiful white linen card. And then we've cut, just using our guillotine or trimmer, a couple of mats and layers to go in the middle there. And then we have got our beautiful inner detail, that frame that's going to go into the middle. So let's start to pop these together.
Those dies are incredible, aren't they, for kind of mixing and matching and creating different sized frames and creating all sorts of different types of detail. Are we getting the details up for those? There we go. Coming up at the bottom of the screen in a second.
It's on its way. It's thinking about it.
There it is, the Everyday Border Nesting Dies.
Woo! I think the graphics is add enough. The computer's just on a go slow. It's thinking, do you know what? No.
They probably got wet.
It probably has,
Probably what it is.
It's probably thinking, this weather, no.
Yeah.
Send me home.
I'm going to play today.
Oh dear. But I love these dies because, like Ben says, you've got so many different options when it comes to mixing and matching these. You can create the frames in lots of different ways to give you tons of different options. But look at that beautiful detail, especially in the linen card. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous cutting that. So that's going to be layering onto that. Then next up, I mean, look at that little bumblebee, how cute is he?
Oh yeah, hello.
Sweet. There's little details as well. You can see he's on the background as well there. I do love a bumblebee. I think they are gorgeous. So then let's pop some foam tape on the back of this layer and we're going to start to build our card together. Get a bit of dimension and then we'll add in our flowers, which will definitely be almost like the crowning glory, if you like, onto our card.
Whilst you're building, we can say hi to Lisa, who's joined us from the Yucca Valley in California.
Wow, sounds fabulous.
Does, doesn't it? Is that where yucca plants are from, the Yucca Valley?
Ooh.
Genuine question, don't know. Cat Butt says, still here from a dark Montrose. Lovely to see Ben, lovely Lily and team.
Oh, thank you. Lovely to have your company, as always.
Hi, Samantha Cheney and Tim C, who says, how is everyone doing? Hi to Ben. And the amazing Lily, Tim C has just said as well, he's finished all his Christmas cards and starting on next year's birthday cards. That is organised.
Wow. I will say I've not made a single Christmas card to give yet, but you know, it's fine, it's fine. I'll get them done, you know.
Run that 17 days to go. Or was it 18?
Good grief, not long.
18 days. How is it nearly Christmas?
Oh, honestly.
2 weeks.
Do not know. It's scary, isn't it? Time flies.
Mary Beth Doyle says, glad to see Lily. I love to watch her demo. And I haven't tried flowers from the linen card, but I will now, she says.
Yay. That's what it's all about. It's all about inspiring you guys at home, getting you to try something perhaps you've never tried before, and hopefully you'll love flower forming with your card and with your phone, whatever it's going to be with, just as much as I do. It's one of those techniques I could literally sit and while away the hours just creating flowers. I think it's super therapeutic and super fun to do.
Do you tend to sort of make and then store away, or do you make for a particular project at the time you're doing that project?
I tend to try and make them for a particular project just so I can get everything matching together. So like, for example, on this card, obviously I've used my linen cardstock for the flowers, but then I've used the same sort of pattern paper and same linen cardstock for my mats and layers. So that is the way that I tend to do it, but of course it's completely up to you guys, whatever's going to work best for you. Now we're going to bring in our sentiment, but before we stick that on, we're going to sort of do our flowers and arrange them first. So let's go back to our flowers and bring in some of our inks. Now we're going to use one of our water reactive inks. When I come to do our flower forming foam, get your teeth into that one at this time, right? Be careful saying that, that's for sure. When I use flower forming foam with my inks, I tend to go for my quick dries, and that's what you'll find over on the shop today. But because this is just paper or cardstock, we're going in with our water reactive. Could be your opaque pigment. You could also use your quick dries, but your water reactive will work perfectly. And all we're doing is we're going in with one of our finger daubers, back in stock these, which is super exciting.
Yes, noticed that yesterday.
Yes.
When did they arrive back?
I think it was earlier this week or last week.
Yeah.
But I was very excited about that. I absolutely love these. They're super useful. I probably use these the most actually when I'm creating my flowers, because if you're doing this sort of technique where you're actually adding your ink afterwards, it's ideal to be using these.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of that crushed velvet that we're using here onto the very tips of our petals here, and it starts to make a real difference. It starts to make it look a little bit more realistic, adding that depth, that dimension, that little bit of shading, that extra bit of interest. But you can see how easy it is, especially when you're using these daubers. Very easy to work with. I mean, you can pop your finger into there, but I find, because I've got quite a long nail, I find it easier to actually just hold them like that.
I meant to say your nails looking very festive.
Oh, they need redoing, I have to say. Yeah.
Oh, do they?
They're a few weeks old now, but I'm thinking, I'm hoping to get them done this weekend. I'm thinking, do I go full on Christmas? Do I go?
Hang on a minute, if they're not full on Christmas, why do they? I'm genuine question. Why do they need redoing?
They're growing out a bit.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't look too close.
Oh yeah. Zoom in, James. I want to see.
Yeah. So I got these. Must have been.
Yes, as well.
Yeah, thank you, James. Just makes my nails look really bad. You can see the gilded wax on one of them as well that is still there. But yeah, because it was at sort of end of November, so it's getting towards Christmas time. I thought I can't go full on Christmas yet, but it needs to be a little bit Christmassy. So they are quite festive, I have to say. But it's quite funny. I was filming a little tutorial video with the social team earlier today, and I was using some of our 12x12 glittering gold cardstock. I think it might actually be on an offer today. But anyway, and my nails matched with it perfectly, which was quite
blended
satisfying.
into the cardstock.
Yeah. Where do the nails finish? Where does the cardstock start? Good question. But right, let's go in and start to build our card together. So we've got our sentiment. I believe this is from Random Places is from. If anybody remembers, a few years ago we did our create a card dies with matching stamps. There was like a village church one. There was.
I remember those. There was
We've had them on lately. There's only a few sets left.
There's the Charming Church. The village scene.
Yeah, Quaint Village, is it called? Something like that. And I think there was a butterfly when it originally launched, like a butterfly frame, and a couple of others.
I remember
It's from there. So yeah, strange memory when it comes to things like this, as I'm sure a lot of you guys at home will probably know, but that is where our sentiment is from. But of course it could be any stamp sentiment, it could be a die cut sentiment, anything at all, just something to add that little extra bit of interest down there. And again, using our tacky glue this time to stick these flowers onto our cards. So we've got our smaller one, we have got our larger one, just deciding where I want that. But of course, with it being tacky glue, you've got a moment to manoeuvre that into position as well until you're happy with it. Just going to make sure those are a little bit closer. Don't want too much of a gap between them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add something into the centre. They look a little bit bare, shall we say, in the centre. So let's bring in one of our gems. Here we're going to use gems from that Venetian Grace collection. I think they're probably still in stock over on the web. Really nice set of, almost like a Aurora, I can never say this, Aurora Borealis, there you go. Said it once, won't say it again. That sort of finish. Nice sparkly gems. Still in stock on the website from our Venetian Grace collection. And from our larger one, let's go in with a slightly larger gem. Then for our smaller one, we're going to go in with that sort of medium-sized gem. Come on now. Flip over. I need one of those sticky picky uppy tools, but I don't have one.
By the way, good news is that one of your 2 demos will be demo of the day today.
Woohoo!
Yeah, de facto demo of the day, because there'll be those only 2 demos that we've seen today. So congratulations.
Whoa!
In advance.
There we go. Right, just to finish it off, all I've got a little bag of goodies here, all of my different die cut leaves. So let's bring in some of our little die cut leaves. So this one that we've die cut here is from the same die set that we've used for our petals, for our flowers.
Yeah.
And we've used, again, I believe it's the Summer Meadow linen card, but you've got a lovely green in that fuchsia set. You've also got a green in the Mediterranean Dreams as well.
Yeah.
So you could absolutely be using those 2 linen card packs that we do have on the show. And I always think it's nice to give your leaves a little bit of shape rather than just sticking them on flat. You've taken the time to shape your flowers and all those petals there. So take just a few moments to add a little bit of curvature to those leaves, and it does make a real difference. Makes it look a lot more lifelike and brings everything together really quite nicely. So let's have a few more on here for balance. Of course, you could be inking these as well using a darker green ink, but I think we're going to go in just as it is and add a few of these onto here. Let's have a little look what other leaves we've got. We've got a few more.
I'm going to put all of that on, are you?
Oh, not quite. Blimey, me, it'd be like a jungle, wouldn't it? Oh, blimey me, that would be a little bit overkill, I think. But I find even if I'm creating my my foam flowers, I still like to actually use paper or card for my leaves. I think Craig does the same as well, actually. I don't tend to die cut foam for my leaves an awful lot, or for my foliage. I'll tend to, even when I'm creating my foam flowers, go in with my paper leaves. I think it just gives you quite a nice effect, especially when it's your linen cardstock like we're using here. And I think just one more up that section there, just for a little bit of balance. Perfect. On the right hand side. Quite a simple design, just a few of our nesting dies onto there, just a couple of flowers, but you can see how easy it is to start building and shaping those petals even when you're using your linen cardstock. Love that technique, but you can see how easy it is to create.
Absolutely blooming marvellous that. We just had a wow Lily come through from Candy. Very wow.
Thank you.
Very wow.
Wowzers.
But isn't it nice that you can see all of the different sort of materials that you can make your flowers with? So yeah, give it a go. If you're used to maybe using your flower forming foam, why not try with papers? Why not try with your linen card? Just give something a little bit different a go. And when you get this collection, by the way, the flower forming die 8-piece collection is absolutely flying. Less than 40 of these now available for you. So you are going to have to be quick if you want to get your hands on them. We'll give you all the dies there to be able to create your beautiful ivy. As you've mentioned, you've got that stunning exquisite lace frame set in there as well. That just lends itself so beautifully as like the backdrop for, you know, a beautiful bouquet of flowers, whether it's this precious peony set. This is the one that comes with the die to be able to create your own stamens. Then you've got the hydrangea, again a really lovely selection of beautiful flowers, into your clovers of course as well. Then we're going to be giving you your regal rose. This is the one with the stencil, so if you want to create kind of like larger, bigger petals, you've got that stencil there, that template to be able to do that. You're also going to get your perfect peony. So this again brings you all of those different size petals, and then the leaves again. So whether you're working with your flower forming foam, or whether you're working with your papers, plenty of dies to be able to cut out all of those different shapes and sizes. And also worth bearing in mind, also over on the website, Shop the Day, you will find more in the way of stamens. You'll find the tools there as well if you want the ball tools, if you want that finger toboggan as well. That's in a brilliant bundle on the website for you as well. And you're also going to get your pine cone in this collection too. If you're platinum, you are pretty much half price deal, or better than half price deal. £36 or $44 is the platinum price on that. And don't forget, if you do pick up that collection, you will get the first of your 2 free gifts today. Spend £10, you've got that Rooftops of Light die set. Spend $50, you'll get that, plus your pool bows as well. And as Lily was mentioning, we do have the linen cardstock on the show for you. Some really, really nice, I mean, this one has been hacked to pieces. Wow. Sorry. This has happened a lot to me recently. You'll get, I'm not opening the next one up, you'll get 24 sheets. I mean, there's about 22 in here, but yeah, you'll get the 24. So there's 6 different colours, 4 sheets of each. Absolutely beautiful, some great colours to be making your florals with. And as Lily was pointing out, you do get a lovely green in this set, as you do alongside the Fabulous Fuchsia, which I'll just show you in a second. But £10.79 or $14.36 if you're a platinum member. The Fabulous Fuchsia obviously brings you all of your pinks and your purples, and then another beautiful green in there as well. I'm not opening that one up. Definitely not. But this one brings you 25 sheets this time around, 5 colours, 5 sheets of each, with that 10% saving. Less your Club Inspired discount, of course, so £10.79 or $14.36. And those ink pads as well, if you did want to pick those up, available for you. We've got the quick dry selection, so it's 7 different colours for you here. Take you through all the 7 that you're going to get. So you've got that beautiful baby blue. One of my faves, the Chinese red, is so luscious. The colour of that is just so bright, so vibrant. You're going to get your straw bale in there. You're going to get the grasshopper in there too, alongside actually your spring meadow. So nice to have lots of the different shades of the greens in there, the lagoon, and also your oasis as well. So it is 7 ink pads in total. £24 is your platinum price there, or $32 if you're shopping in the US. Christine Sayer just saying, Lily, that was simply beautiful and allows the papers to really shine through. We've got half an hour left. If you have just joined us, I know a few of you have come in and followed us going, oh, I can only stay for the first hour. That's good because we're only here for an hour. 1 hour masterclass, and then we'll show you in the second hour one of the hours from our cartload show today with Sarah, because there are still some amazing deals to be had from that show. In this final half hour, if there's anything that you want to see, anything you want to ask Lily, get the questions in now, and we'll come back and show you another demo in about 4 minutes' time.
If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
A few weeks ago on the show, we were talking about places where all you guys lived. Well, we might have used Google Earth just to have a bit of a sneaky look at the village, town, or city that you lived in. And I thought it might be quite funny if I wrote a little ditty and I put on my Facebook page, where do y'all live? And I'll 50 towns and cities and village into my little song. But I didn't realize that there would be about 425 responses. So I'm gonna cram as many places into this song as I can, but I won't get them all in. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. We craft in Lydney, Lynbrook, Launceston, Lehana, Tampa, Darlington, Almond Beach, Sedalia, Wills Point, Widnes, Wildwood, Weldon, Marsh, Chatsworth Lake, Walkerburn, Yate, Bay, Hesperia, Sublimity, Pinho, Avon, Freeport, Mapleton, San Jose, Enumclaw, Great Bend, Detroit, Keniston. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Craft in Parachute, Paradise, Pollux, Papillion, Sheepshead Bay, St. Petersburg, Seacon, Sutton, Saturday, Bristol, Brighton, Brooklyn, Blackwood, Barnsley, Tide Squeeze, South Shields, Temple Hills and Bentley, Tampa, Pillar, Tucumcari, Cary, Ottawa, Hull, Harrisburg, Lexington, Tupelo, Cincinnati, Austinburg. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Craft in Loxahatchee, Lakesville, Lawrence, Lacey, Livermore, Albuquerque, Weeki-Wachee, Pensacola, Ellsmere, Mechanicsburg, Williamsburg, Rebella, Houston, Burlington, Wet Wang, Market, Drayton, Yale, Medford, Wellington, Wapakoneta, Homer, Sassa, Santa Rosa, Wichita, Honolulu, Riverdale, Melbourne, Commerce, Fintana. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Newton Abbey, Richmond, Dudley, Georgetown, East Kilbride, Eugene, Ferrum, Rhinewood, Walkerstown, Newarheim, Fort Wayne, Gloucester, Chester, Long Beach, Raphael, St. Dominic, St. Cloud, St. Augustine Beach, Sand Springs, Romford, Tulsa, Traverse City, Wesley Chapel, Ballarat, Medina, Ramble City. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Craft in Saarbrücken, Tucson, Kissimmee, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Biloxi, Latte, Elmira, Glendale, Scottsdale, Anchorage, and Hurtville, Seattle, Go Canyon, Ipswich, Cumberland, Unionville, Toledo, Miami, Atlanta, Cleveland, Go Canyon, Altoona, Calounda, Port Orange, Glover, Rising Sun. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. And there's a few more places I didn't manage to get into the song. West Runton, Newcastle, Kingswood, Sandbach, Carlisle, Bewley, Albury, Durham, Springfield, Ashington. We craft in Greenville, Lincoln, Nebraska, Sumter, Oak Park, Winchester, Knaphill, Stoke-on-Trent, Mount Pocono, Greenville, Charlotte, Oxon Hill, Tunbridge Wells, Modesto, Haverhill, Sierra Vista, Arecibo, Morgantown, O'Fallon, Aurora, Black Forest. We craft in Hermiston, Brownsburg, Henderson, Socorro, Fort Myers, Mandenholm, Hilliard, Farmingdale, East Moline, Summers Point, Calgary, Charleston, Sawston, Malden, Galloway, Fitchburg, Hopewell, Aberdeen, Winstead, Castlewood, Chatsworth, Limestone, Victoria, Willoughby, Rockland, Canton, Falmouth, Conestoga, Lyndhurst, Ashbourne, and Cluj-Napoca. Oh yeah.
Yeehaw! Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for checking out. Listen, if you've got anything on your wish list for today, then do make sure wherever you are, you check out before midnight, because you're going to get the 2 free gifts if you spend a tenner, you'll get one. Just to reiterate those again, it was from the spin of the wheel this morning. So this one is your £10, $10 free gift. As we talked about earlier on, that's worth about 20 on its own. So it's ridiculous that we're giving that away as your £10, $10 free gift. And if you spend 50, we'll also pop into your basket the pull bows, which are just brilliant. You're going to get 15 of those. It's the Christmas ones with the sort of holographic effect that you've got across those. So those are going to be added into your basket. If you wait till tomorrow, that deal won't be there because we're going to spin the wheel again, aren't we? I mean, it might crop up again tomorrow that you get 2 free gifts, but it won't be those 2. We'll spin the wheel again tomorrow morning during Wake Up Call. It is me and Corinne tomorrow. So we'll find out where the wheel is going to land. Hi to Adriana, who says, good afternoon, everyone from San Antonio, Texas. I'm translating some semester exams for the maths department, and Crafters TV will keep me company. Wow. This sounds like much more fun than that. I don't know. It does it, doesn't it? Like, I mean, I would translating semester exams for the maths department or Crafters TV. But thank you for joining us. And thank you also to Tim, who's been in touch. Oh, yeah, I've already read that one, Ben, saying that he's making cards. Oh, no, he doesn't. He says, beautiful card, Lily. May have to delve into the realms of flower forming. Do it. You've got the opportunity to do it today, picking up all of those dies to be able to create some fantastic flower forming projects at minimal cost. Susie just messaged saying, is New Orleans in that song? I don't know. Let's play it again and have a look. Oh, apparently we're not going to. I don't know if I'm being honest with you. I'm not 100% sure it is. Anyway, maybe I'll do a part 2 at some point and get in all the other places we missed off. Right. Mary Beth Doyle says, question. What can I colour the white foam with that won't rub off, Lily?
Well, funnily you should say that. It's going to be covered in the next demonstration.
Almost like we planned it. We're going to find that out. And just a quick question from Linda, who says, breaking news, my husband has just tried out my new vacuum and he gives it his seal of approval.
Woohoo! Got the
sold
Linda's
out,
husband's seal of approval. What more could you want?
Exactly right. Right, so we're going to do another demo. So you will look at colouring in the white foam, correct?
We certainly will, yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to bring in the flower forming foam into this demonstration. So we're going to create something a little bit different. We're going to do a little MDF wall hanging, but let's focus on the flowers to start with. So for this one, we're going to be using those lovely clover dies that we've got as part of that flower forming bundle. You are getting 3 different dies as part of this collection. You're getting your large, your medium and your small. And what we're going to use to create these flowers is we're going to use all 3. But let's bring back in our fabulous Gemini mini machine. Like we were saying earlier, absolutely ideal for cutting your flowers, whether they're going to be from foam like we're using here, or whether they're going to be like from paper like we did in the last demonstration. It's going to handle them all with ease. Now the beauty of this foam, it's very different to our funky foam in that it's really quite thin. This funky foam is nice and thick, so great for lots of different techniques. But with your flower forming foam being nice and thin, it means you can die cut multiple layers. I think we tend to say up to about 8 different layers. So here we're doing a couple of layers at a time, and that's going to be absolutely fine going through our die cutting machine. Now, just a little note when it comes to our funky foam. We do get quite a few questions about the funky foam and flower forming. Obviously, we launched our funky foam just a few months ago now, I want to say.
I don't think I've ever seen the funky foam.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, but it's back in stock. It is back in stock. Sold out really quite quickly,
Yeah.
but we have got it back in stock.
Are you
Now,
saying we can make flowers with that then or not?
so you can make flowers and leaves. I was actually using the ivy dye just the other night with the flower forming foam, and it works a treat. But of course, it's going to give you a totally different effect. So with our flower forming foam, this is heat activated, which is what we're going to see in just a few moments when we start to actually shape it. With your funky foam, it's a lot thicker and it's not actually heat activated. So you can use it to create flowers. It will just give you a completely different effect with your flowers. But I find it's great for your leaves. That ivy dye, because it's got the deboss detail, it looks absolutely amazing when you're using your funky foam, because it gives real depth to that debossing. So absolutely give it a go, but just a different effect with your funky foam. So here what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of colour first off. So obviously with our first demonstration, we die cut and then we shaped and laid up our flower, and then we added our colour on afterwards. Here what we're going to do is we're going to add our colour on before we actually add the layers together and start to build our flowers. I find for me personally the best ink pad within our range to go for when it comes to shaping, to colouring your foam is actually the quick dry.
Okay.
Because obviously you're handling the flowers, you're going to get ink on your fingers. So with it being quick dry, it means you're going to basically get a little bit less messy when it comes to all of your shaping and all the rest of it. And you will find a bundle of our quick dry ink pads over on the shop the day on the website. Lots of different colourways, like we had a little look at earlier. So do definitely check those out if you wanted to go from your quick dry inks.
So could you use your alcohol markers on these then?
Absolutely, yeah, that works a treat. Obviously with your alcohol markers being permanent, they work brilliantly onto your foam. So if you want to maybe get into a little bit more detail, maybe you're going to be wanting to add almost like veins and more precise lines onto there, then your pens are going to work an absolute treat. So something like your illustrators, your classiques, your tri-blends, any of those are going to work brilliantly onto your foam as well.
What would you not put on here as far as like ink's concerned then? So if Mary Beth is sort of thinking, what should I not, wouldn't work?
Anything that's really wet.
Okay.
So it's just not going to sit in. It's just basically not going to dry. So something like a watercolour I wouldn't go for. I wouldn't use something like my shimmer sprays. So anything really wet I wouldn't go for. But any of your ink pads, give those a go. I'd probably not go for my opaque pigment ink pads, just with them being slow drying. You're going to get a little bit into a bit of a pickle. But Nicola, that is a top question.
Gilding
because
wax is
it works a treat. Gilding wax works amazingly well. I'm sure. Actually, the very first flower forming masterclass I did a long time ago now, I'm sure I showed gilding wax, and I'm sure it was the first time I'd ever used it. It was like we'll try this live on air, and it worked.
Like a light bulb moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, shall I give it a go? Yeah, and so we did it. But talking about shows a long time ago, I have to say, exactly 2 years ago today was my first show on Crafters TV.
Get out of town!
Yeah, it popped up on my Facebook memories this morning, exactly 2 years ago to the day. So I thought, how nice.
It was with me.
It was.
Because...
Yeah.
No,
Let's see if you can remember.
No, I tell you, I remember obviously because it was a fantastic show.
Of course.
And I remember that.
Do you know what, Nicola? I could tell you what was on the show. I'm that sad. I literally could.
Well, the reason I remember is because it also popped up on my memories today, and in the blur, because I do sort of look through now and again to watch back, self-appraise and all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
Ooh, that was terrible back then. It said, join Ben Moseby and a very special guest.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, who's the special guest? And it was Lilly on her first show.
Yeah.
What was on the show then?
So it was a Tuesday night. It was a launch party.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we launched the, I can't remember what it's called. It's one of the big Spectrum Raw kits. It's either I think it's the Colorist collection.
Oh, right.
That we launched, yeah. Yeah, I remember it well. So when that popped up, because I was thinking the other day, it must be around about this time of year, because I remembered it was December, but it popped up just this morning, exactly 2 years ago.
Everyone, let's wish Lilly happy 2-year anniversary of Crafters TV.
Yeah.
Susie says, I think I was here too. Lilly was so fabulous and everyone loved her so much, they couldn't wait to see more of her.
Oh.
There you go, you see? Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Susie. So that was when I was still over on the other side, as we call it, working in the office. Obviously now I'm on this side, but yeah, that's what I was doing.
You weren't even here, were you?
No.
You were over there.
I was here, but I wasn't here. If that makes sense. Isn't it crazy?
So that wasn't. So when did you join Crafters Companion then?
So I joined Crafters Companion. That was 2 years in September.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I'd been here about a couple of months before I first came through this side of the building, if you like, and then since I started the job on this side as a supervising coordinator, very fancy as we know, that was a year ago in August.
Wowee.
It's crazy, isn't it? Time honestly flies.
That is crazy. It's weird, isn't it, to think that was your first show 2 years ago, because I just sort of feel in my mind now that you've always done shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird to think it's only 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, honestly. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Being able to do this alongside my day job is, honestly, it's a true blessing. Absolutely love to be able to share what I love doing the most, which is crafting, be able to share that with you guys.
It's a good job you do love it. Otherwise you'd be cursing now, wouldn't you, when you could have gone home like 2 hours ago?
I know. But of course, as soon as I get home, once I battle through the rain, I will be crafting.
Yeah.
Straight in the craft route. Well, I'll be good. I'll do my washing up first.
Do the washing up.
Do the washing up first, and then I'll be straight in the craft room. That is for sure.
Question and a quick comment from Candy, who says, happy anniversary, Lilly. What an asset to Crafters TV you are. Creative and inspiring.
That's lovely.
And Marshall asks, Lilly, can you use duet ink pads on flower foam?
Do you know what? I've not given it a go, but I don't see why not. absolutely give it a go. It's one of those things, just have an experiment.
Yeah.
So all we've done here is we've just taken an iron, and it doesn't have to be a fancy craft iron, because I have to say, when you get craft irons, they tend to be a bit more expensive. So just a normal iron or a travel iron, because that can be a little bit more manageable with them being smaller. All you do is just hold your flour for literally a couple of seconds, obviously taking care of your fingers, against that iron, and that's going to shape super, super easy. And all we're doing here is we're just layering the flours together. How simple is it to create real depth and dimension onto your foam flowers? Just a little bit of inking on the edge, and then I popped a bit of that straw bale, that yellow in the centre. Not creating any particular flower at all, just a fancy flower, just a pretty little flower. It doesn't need to look like anything anything specific. And I always find, for me, the best glue to go for when I am using my flower forming foam is always my hot glue gun. And you will find a fantastic deal on our hot glue gun with the sticks over on the website. So that's definitely the one that I always use when it comes to my foam flowers. You can see how easy it is to create two little foam flowers, but the finishing touch to these will of course be a few stamens. So all we're going to do is we're going to bring in our pokey tool. All I do is take my pokey tool, pierce a hole through the centre, and then just make that as large or as small as it needs to be, depending on how many of the stamens you're going to actually pop through the centre there. So just pop that through the middle. And the brilliant thing about foam is if your flowers go a little bit flat, it's really easy to actually zhuzh them up again and add a little bit more dimension and life back into those. So I'm using our, I believe it's the floral bouquet, the stamens that we've got over on the shop today. So you should find those on the website. Brilliant thing about the white stamens, we've also got those on the website, is that you can colour those as well. So alcohol pencil is going to be absolutely ideal if you're wanting to colour your white stamens. Just giving you more options to get everything matching together absolutely perfectly. Now what you can do at this stage, you can thread a little bit of wire through your stamens, or I know some of the team sometimes use a hair grip, but I find I can just thread it through using my pokey tool. As long as that hole is large enough in the centre there, it's not too difficult at all to do. Even with my quite long nails that need changing, as we have learnt earlier on the show. They're festive, but still not festive enough.
Yeah. Christine is saying, can you warm the foam with your heat gun, Lily?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So just take your heat tool, just give it a little blast, and you'll start to see, it will start to, basically you'll see it change shape. So you'll know once it's sort of heated enough, because it will start to come to shape. But yeah, anything like that that will heat the foam. Some people say you can do it just with the heat, the warmth from your hands. I have to say I don't think that's got quite enough heat, unless you've got very, very warm hands, enough heat to actually shape the foam enough. So I would say something like either, I know they said a hot glue gun, definitely not a hot glue gun. That wouldn't work. Use that for gluing the flowers together, but something like a heat tool is ideal. Of course, check the website for our Crafter's Companion one with our different options on there for UK and US, but either that or a craft iron is the one to go for. Love all these questions though, guys. Keep them coming. This is what it's all about, because if you've never tried flower forming foam before, it's a little bit like one of those, you're not quite sure where to start. Get those questions in. That's what masterclasses are all about for sure. So those are our two little flowers, nice and easy to come together. Well, let's leave those to one side for just a moment and start to build our project together. Got inky fingers, but after all, that's definitely what it's all about, isn't it, when we're crafting? So all I've done here is I've taken an MDF plaque. It's just a rectangular plaque with a couple of holes in the top. I've taken papers from the My Special Papers box. I believe they were originally from Secret Garden and Bell Countryside, so you've got those, they'll be perfect. I actually added a little bit of paint onto there, just so it wasn't quite so brown, so it wasn't the raw MDF, but still to keep it quite neutral. It's just some white acrylic I've popped onto there. First layer, I've teared the edges onto there, and I've just sanded back the edges and added a little bit of gilding wax all around the edge. Next layer up, this one I believe was from the Vintage Butterflies 12x12. It is part of the Special Papers box, but if you've not got that at home and you do have the Vintage Butterflies Sarah Signature 12x12 pad, then that's the one to go for. For this one, we've just wrapped a little bit of ribbon, gorgeous ribbon there, organza ribbon, through the middle there, and that's going to be our next layer, of course, in true Lily style with our foam pads. You know, I love a bit of dimension, as I always say. That's going to go onto the middle. Then we've taken another of those gorgeous everyday boarding nest everyday border, not border, everyday border nesting dies that we do have over on the shop today. And I've die cut this. It's just a smaller one actually we've used here. We've not even used the larger one within the set, just showing you've got lots of versatility even if you are creating your smaller projects. I'm going to have some foam top and bottom, and that's going to go into the centre. That's going to be the frame that will actually adorn using these flowers that we have just popped together and created using our foam. So sort of no particular way that this needs to go around. It can go either way with this one. It can go portrait and landscape as well, which I always think is super useful. Let's have that onto the centre there, just trying to make sure everything's pretty straight-ish at this time on an evening. Then we've got a little bit of pink card that's going to go into the centre. We've got a sentiment, just a pre-die cut sentiment. I believe it was one in one of our older craft clubs actually, or craft kits.
Oh yeah.
So if you've got any of those, then that's going to be ideal. But of course it could be a stamped sentiment or a die cut sentiment if you've got dies in your crafty stash that will die cut little skeleton sort of words like that. It was a white die cut, so we've just brought in some of our inks, some of our brown inks, just to sort of make that a little bit more rusty. Are you shushing me?
No,
this is a bit rude.
I didn't mean to say that out loud. I just went whoosh,
whoosh.
whoosh.
I was thinking, blimey, are you telling me to shut up?
Shush.
This is a little bit rude. Blimey,
whoosh.
me. I mean, if I was stood here saying nothing, I don't think it'd be too interesting, mind you. It might be better for you guys at home, but there you go.
Well,
point taken.
No, but just whilst you are sticking, loads of people wishing you happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
Marshall, Adriana, Sue, Benson, love the relaxed way Lily demonstrates her projects. It's easy for me to keep up.
Oh, thank you.
Laurie saying happy anniversary. Sue Benson, Lily is fabulous. Tim C says happy second anniversary. Such an amazing, inspirational young lady.
Oh, thank you.
And Tim C also saying, can Ben and Lily come to Chesterfield for demo day? It would be amazing to see an amazing duo in person. I'd be up for coming to do a day.
Do you know what? That's another thing that's really dear to my heart, because I'm from Sheffield originally, as I'm sure a lot of you guys will know.
Up the Blades.
Up the Blades, indeed. Chris Wilder's back, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Anyway, so many, many years ago, I'm trying to think how many years ago this must be now. This is when I was still back in Sheffield, so we're going back, I think it must be at least 6 years. It was Chesterfield store, I think it was their second birthday, and I took, obviously I don't drive myself, so I had to take, I think it was 3 buses from where I was living in Sheffield all the way over to the Chesterfield store, because they're having a special day for their second anniversary. It was going to be goodie bags, there was in-store demonstration, and I thought, right, I'm going to get myself over to the Chesterfield store. So I did exactly that, took three bus journeys, I think it was middle of winter as well, so it was quite cold, over to the Chesterfield store, and had a day over at the store, which was absolutely fabulous. So I would love nothing more to get that opportunity actually to go back to the store. That would be super, super special. And blimey me, if you would have told me on that day when I'd gone all the way over to the store that a few years later I'd be working for Crafters Companion, I said, blimey, get out of town.
Get out of town, man.
No way. So yeah, I'd love to go back to the Chesterfield store, that is for certain. But yeah, we shall
one
put
day.
a few feelers out, shall we, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Say a few things. Can we go? But yeah, I would love that. Please,
Please
let us
can we
out.
go?
We're not allowed out very often. There's probably good reason why, let's be honest.
That's it.
You know.
We're all under curfew.
Yeah.
Pretty paper, says Adriana. Mary Beth Dawes says happy anniversary to Lily. We will do a vote in just a second as well. I know time's running away from us here. It will be a vote for demo of the show, which will be demo of the day as well. So one vote to cover the two. This is going to be a tough one, actually.
Card versus plaque. What's it going to be? Is it going to be foam or paper?
Foam or paper. Card versus plaque. What are you going for, Nicola? This one?
Okay. Nicola's going for this one. Interesting.
Nicola, the plaque.
The plaque, of course.
Obviously.
Then just to finish it off, you know what I'm like for my fussy cutting, so I've just fussy cut one of the butterflies from that lovely vintage butterflies paper pad. Just a couple of the flowers onto there. We're not even going to add any leaves onto this one. I think we're just going to leave it as it is. But how lovely would that to have maybe on, yes, Nicola, no pun intended, leaf it out.
Leaf it out.
How lovely would that to be have it on maybe on a door hanger or just in your living room. Nice and simple to put together, but how fabulous is it to create your own foam flowers with total ease? That
is amazing. We know which one Nicola's going to be waiting for. I'll take you through all the dies again that you're going to get in this selection in just a second, but shall we get the vote going for the demo of the show/day?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it. Right, here we go then. Let's line up the makes. It is card versus plaque.
Have you ever heard such a fierce rivalry as this one? What's it going to be? First up, card. Using
Card.
our beautiful linen cardstock to create our flowers. That is demo number 1.
Plaque.
Plaque. Is it going to be plaque? Demo number 2. 1 or 2? Up to you guys at home. Get those votes in.
1 or 2.
It's down to you. There we go.
Card versus plaque. You've literally got about 2 minutes to get your voting because we've got about 3.5 minutes left. This bundle is all of the following, right? So you've got your dies to be able to create your beautiful pine cone or flowers if you so wish. But you know, you get all of those included to be able to do that. Also in the bundle, you have got this beautiful perfect peony. If you want stamens, as we've mentioned, if you shop the show, shop the day, you will find different selections of stamens available for you, including the white ones. So if you do want to colour your own sort of flower-specific stamens in, you can. Then you've got your Regal Rose. That one comes with the bigger template, the stencil. So if you do want to make bigger florals, you can. You have got the dies in there too. By the way, if it's foam you're after as well, we do have selections of foam available for you once again on the shop the show, shop the day. You've got your clovers in there, of course, as we've seen. You've got the ability also to be able to make your own stunning hydrangeas. There are 10 dies of different sizes in there. This one's super cute as well. Another peony set, but this one comes with your quilling die, so you can create your own sort of different stamens out of your foam or paper that way around. If you want a slightly different look, a different texture to your flowers, then you can go with that one. You're also going to get, always popular actually, the ivy dies. So again, 5 dies in total there. Those ones actually come really super detailed, so they're going to give you the detailing of the veins and the leaves once you use those, and then you'll also get your exquisite lace as well, that beautiful frame set there from the Vintage Rose collection, which will just work wonderfully alongside all of the florals that you're going to get. Also, just whilst we're waiting for the results to come in, if you do want to pick up your own glue gun, got a fantastic deal on our glue gun actually as well. These are fantastic, heat up really quickly, ready to go. Comes with the stand as well, which you can self-affix to the bottom of your glue gun, so it sort of self-supports and stands when you're not using it. You've got your anti-drip nozzle there as well. And this deal is incredible because we're going to give you the glue gun, and if you look at that price thinking, the glue gun and 100 glue sticks for $13.97, yeah, because we're giving you 70 glue sticks for absolutely nada, nothing, nix, 0 zip. UK only though. $13.97 is your price on that if you're a platinum member. Or if you want to go max out, you know, super size me, all the glue sticks, you can go for this deal where you get 120 glue sticks for free, $19.98, however you want to go. But those 2 options are available for you. We've got have you got a minute left? Very close. But the demo of the show day goes to plaque versus card. Plaque.
Plaque did it. Nicola knew. She knows what she's talking about, that lady.
She does.
There we go. Demo of the show and demo of the day. Woohoo!
Whoop,
Like that.
whoop, whoop. Thanks for a fab show. When are you back on? Have you got any dates coming up?
When am I back on? That is a good question. I'm back on next week. Yeah, I'm presenting Wednesday morning with Sheena, and then I'm on Friday with you, and then all next weekend. So 16th and 17th, I'm here all weekend.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm back with you to... What my voice then? I'm back with you tomorrow.
His voice is just broken, guys.
Yes, my voice is just broken. I'm with Corinne all day. We've got a masterclass on creator cards. We've got Colour Me Happy as well, all about your illustrators. So yes, what a fantastic day. Coming up after this, one of the fantastic hours from our Cartload show earlier with Sarah. But thank you to the whole team for a fab day. We'll see you tomorrow. Till then, bye for now.